What it do, good people?
What it do?
What it do,
What
babe?
it do?
Lust, Married Life, episode 3. Today's topic, what we talking about, babe? We talking about that 3-letter word. Sex, baby.
Yep.
How important it is in a marriage. But before we jump into this conversation, today's episode, can y'all see this? New product alert. We created this new product called Wet Wet. It is a full body moisturizer and personal lubricant. And fully edible.
And it
Smell
shows.
good. Babe, tell them how long you've been using that.
This is strawberry.
Strawberry. How long you been using it? We created it about a year ago. Sent some
Put it on my
samples
lips.
out to some people, let them try it out. We've been using it for the last year.
Okay.
Now it's made available to you.
Put it on your hand.
On your hand.
Arm.
Where else can they put it?
When I get out of the shower in the morning, I like to use this.
Yes. And listen, ladies, he'll like it too. All right. So
yes.
listen, the link for this product will be in the description. You guys are able to order that today. It is available when you see this new episode.
This is 2-ounce bottles.
2-ounce
You
bottles.
get 3 for $25.
3 for $25. So click the link. It's in the description. You can go order it.
There's
Now,
gonna be different flavors, so
different flavors. Listen, you're going to want to try this, especially if you're trying to have a night of fun. All right, let's get into it,
Yes,
babe.
let's
What we
talk
talking about
about
now? What we talking about now? What we talking about?
what we talking about?
You going to start it?
You started.
Oh, you want me to start it? You want me to start it?
You're better at that.
Today, talking about sex, and we're going to give y'all 2 things that's going to make it very, very important. Let me pull up my notes. I took notes today.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, sir. I took notes today.
Let's see what he got.
Y'all going to see what I got. Y'all going to see what I got. We're going to give y'all 2 things today, man. We talking about sex and how important it is in a relationship. And,
Very important.
And the 2 things we're going to be talking about today is compatibility and connection, right? These 2 things is what we found to really work for us to keep our sex levels the way we want to and to keep our sexual compatibility the way we want to. You cannot build a lasting, happy marriage or relationship and it be sexless.
No.
No. Can't
Well,
do it.
The only way is if both people are sexless.
Yes, and that's very rare, and that's really not realistic because you're not ever going to find 2 people that ever going to be okay with just having a sexless relationship or marriage. I haven't found that yet. They could be out there, but I haven't found out yet. The first way to keep that thing going in a marriage, compatibility. Let's talk about that, babe. Let's talk about that a little bit. I wrote some notes down so we can jump into that a little bit. Let me pull up my notes. Compatibility. So when we talk about compatibility, we're talking about, are you on the same level sexually?
Right.
What's your freak level? Let me say it that way for all y'all people out there.
How
What's your freak
high
level?
a sex drive?
I have a sex drive you have. How open-minded are you to try new things? Let's talk about the sex drive for a little bit. Just me and my wife's experience. We've always kind of had a higher sex drive, but both of us have had that.
Yes.
When we talk about compatibility and sex drive, we're really talking about if you're on a 10 and your partner is on a probably 6 or lower, that's going to be a huge gap to try to make up for because that's a different mindset, right? That's challenging. One person wants it all the time. Another person's cool with only having it once a week, right? You really got to figure out your compatibility in that area. You really got to figure out your sex drive. Are you a 10? Are you a 5? Are you a 7? What's your partner's? What would you say about that compatibility part, babe?
Definitely. I mean, you not to say that when you have a high sex drive, it's like you got to do it every single day. That's not even what we're really saying because there's days you are tired. So we're just talking about mostly you do feel the same way about it. That's the big compatibility.
Yes.
You both see it as extremely important in your relationship. You know that you aren't going to go a month
without it. Right? A month without it or 8 days without it.
I mean,
exactly.
You do view the compatibility part the same way, and you both have the same sex drive.
Yes, I totally agree with that. That's why I say, what's your freak level, right? Because if your freak level is a 10 and theirs is a 5, they're probably not going to work. You're not going to be compatible. If you're a 10 and they're an 8, you can make that work. If you're a 10 and your partner is a 7, you can probably make that work. But anything under a 7, it's going to be hard because you just don't want the same thing sexually.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about. Like she said, when we say compatibility, that's what we had to figure out for us. We had to figure out and have those conversations. Are we really sexually compatible?
Right.
But the answer is yes. As you can see, 25 years, still going strong, have no problem in that area. But compatibility is the first thing. And so the first thing is, how high is your sex drive or your freak level? We kind of explained that. The second thing will be, how open-minded are you? When you're talking about compatibility, are you open-minded enough to try new things? Like I said, if your freak level is a 10 and your partner's is a 5 or a 6, they might not be open to try new things. You guys are going to do this when it comes down to being sexually active and doing things because your freak level is higher and you want to try new things and explore new things, and your partner might not. You really have to be okay with that. If you are in a relationship with somebody who's not as high sexually as you, or just talk about that in the beginning.
Oh, you definitely
have to talk about.
have to have this discussion.
What would you say about the open-mindedness?
I mean, in the dating arena, if you're dating a person, and this seems like it's probably going somewhere, you really want to have these. This is a big topic. You need to have this discussion.
With
the person you're dating. Are we compatible in this area? I mean, it's not the only discussion, but it's one of the most important ones you need to be having.
That's so true, because to be open-minded sexually, what does that look like for you? What does open-mindedness look like? What does sex drive look like? These are conversations that you have to discuss and have with your partner, preferably before you say I do. Like my wife was saying, if you're in a serious relationship and you're dating somebody, you need to have these conversations, right? What does all that look like for you? Me and my wife know what it looks like for us, right? We've been pretty good at it for the last 25 years for us. Maybe adding things to it, maybe taking away things from it. Man, my notes keep messing up, y'all. So if y'all keep hearing me, my phone keep shutting down. You got to figure out your level that works for you. How open-minded are you? That's part of being compatible sexually. The third thing is, how often per week is good enough for you?
And we're not talking about a schedule.
No, we're not talking about a schedule. We're not talking about no, not a schedule.
In a real world scenario with life, if you have kids, job, what are your expectations?
That word expectation.
But at the same time, y'all have to have the same expectations in that area. Because if you have an expectation and your partner has a different expectation of what a week looks like for you guys, then that's again where you gotta talk about your expectations. You might not have the same expectations of each other.
That's true.
So that's part of the discussion you need to be having.
Yes, that's a major discussion, like we talked about. When we say how often, we are a 6 to 7 times a week person. So every day. I'm telling our business. Hey, we getting open raw. Look, listen, like I said in the beginning in the video, our freak level is a 10. Ain't no shame in that, right? It's always been that. Ain't no shame in the game. Anyway, let's get back to the video. How many times a week? We are a 6 to 7 week person, even with life going on, even with entrepreneurship and kids and all that. Because sex is very important to us. Go ahead.
In that note, your notes say connection. So it's not just
you jumping ahead. That's the second point.
But we kind of getting it.
We are. You're right.
I'm just saying,
that's true.
How are you connecting?
Yes, that's true.
During the day.
That's true.
To build the anticipation of when it's time. That's what I'm thinking.
No, that's true. And that's what I had down for the second thing. She kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but it's all right. We can go on and talk about it right now. The connection is important. But
you have to have that connection.
You got to have that connection to even be compatible. First, when you are figuring out your compatibility, then it goes to the connection part. Like she just said, how connected do you stay during the day? How connected do you stay throughout your work week. If you're traveling and your spouse is at home, or both of y'all traveling, or whatever y'all got going on, do you flirt during the day? We flirt a lot during the day through text messages. We stay majorly connected during the day because our schedules sometimes are very, very hectic. They're kind of all over the place sometimes, right? But we make it a point to stay connected during the day. Text message, simple smiley face, however we choose to flirt, whatever it is, a picture. Did I say that? Did I say that out loud? Oh, wait. But that's just how we get down. Ain't no shame in our game. You can't last 25 years without finding your own way. Without finding things that work for you and spicing it up. Spice it up. Hey, take her advice. If you want your man, hey, you see she done kept this chocolate face happy for 25 years. Anyway, but the connection part is very important. Very important.
And so I think connection is, there's a lot to connection.
Yes,
I feel like,
yes, a whole lot to connection.
One of the things
we
were discussing is I mostly stay home with the kids. I do homeschool.
Yes.
Again, our connection has to be there. And sometimes by the time he comes home, hey, I might need a little bit of space right now. I've been with these kids for hours.
True.
So I need your help. And he's always been willing to do that. So we have to talk about that aspect of a marriage too. What are your expectations from your spouse? Does one spouse have to do everything for the household?
Yes.
And then the other spouse comes home and they're just like, let's go.
Yes.
And the other spouse is like, I've been doing stuff all day long. So you have to have a balance. You can't expect someone who's done so much during the day to have so much energy at night sometimes. Maybe they need a break. Maybe they need to go relax, have a bath, take a deep breath, whatever it is. You got to make sure your connection and your compatibility in that area, it shouldn't fall on one person to do everything. Clean the house, take care of the kids. I think people have to remember, if a person's not into it at night, it could be they've had a long day. Maybe they need a little bit of help.
Especially for women. She's talking from the women, especially for women. So guys, we have to understand, because I had to learn this too. Like she just said, she's dealing with the kids. You know, she's in mommy mode all day, and then I come home and like, hey, what you doing? And she like, nothing.
I'm about to go sit down.
I'm about to go sit down and eat. I'm like, what? What? She's right. We had to learn how to get compatible on that level. I had to learn how to start helping out more, right? And doing more things here at the house and different things as well to help her get in that mood, right?
Ain't nothing sexier than a man helping a woman do.
Oh, look, and her earring then fell off. Look, trying to be, and her earring then fell off.
Put that right back in.
You look good, babe. You look good. You looking like a snack right now. We might have to turn the cameras off. Anyway, finish what you were saying. She said ain't nothing sexier than a man helping out, doing housework, folding clothes, washing dishes. And when I learned that, ooh, yeah, I start washing a lot of dishes and cleaning and doing a lot of laundry, huh, babe?
That's right.
And still do it after 25 years and everything else. Like wifey said, that's a big deal when it comes down to the connection part. It's not just staying connected doing text messages and flirting during the day and sexual connection, sending pictures. It goes way
beyond even sexual.
Exactly. Because when I said pictures, I don't just mean sexual pictures. Sometimes I just send her a picture of my day when I'm out just thinking about you or whatever. But it goes the connection we're talking about goes way beyond sexual. But it helps your sexual connection to the umpteenth degree. Because if you're not connected in every other area like that, then you're not going to want to have sex. That's just keeping it 100. Fellas, if you wonder why your woman or your wife not really in the mood, you might check how much you contribute around the house. You might check how much you help out with the kids. You might check how much you wash dishes or just help out, period. You heard it first from somebody who's been in it for 25 years. That matters to women.
It does.
A woman is just not going to easily be turned on. Just like men are. Men can just be doing whatever we doing and then boom. When it's time, it's time. But women are just a little bit different.
We are I would say the emotion side of it is for women very
Yes.
important.
Yes.
How emotionally connected are we? Do you, well, again, we're kind of opposite sometimes, but anyway, how much do we talk during the day? That's very big for him. And even I had to learn his love language. That's very important to him. Sometimes if we're not connected by conversation, he's like, hey, I'm trying to connect. I love talking. So I have to learn as his wife what is important to him to connect.
True that. Just like I had to learn how to connect with her. Her love language is acts of service, right? And affection, right? I've never been a very affectionate guy when we first got married, but just being married to her, she's taught me how to be affectionate. She's taught me how to love her. That's what a good partner is supposed to do, or a good spouse. It's not your spouse's job to figure that out. You're supposed to identify how your love language is to your partner, and they're supposed to be able to accommodate that or compromise and help love you in that way. She's taught me how to love her the way she needs it. I've taught her how to love me the way I need it, and we just keep growing together in that. She was saying, it's not just about the sexual.
No.
It makes the sexual connection even more heightened when you are connected in the other areas. But first, you got to be compatible. Like we said before, because if you're not compatible, the connection part is just obsolete. Just forget about that. But first, you got to be compatible. But then after compatibility, connection.
What's your connection?
How are you connecting throughout the day? What are you connecting with? And then sex offers a lot of things for a lot of people. What we figured out coaching people, and then like what it means to us, sex is a lot of things. Sex is a form of love. For some people, sex is a form of love because it's touching involved. Sex is a form of affection. Sex can be a tension releaser. For some, all forms, all things, or should I say like this? Sex is all things to all people. Let me say it that way. So you got to figure out how it really benefits you as well as a couple. You got to figure out what works for you as a couple. Are you open-minded? Are you compatible in those areas? Are you connected in those areas? If you really want to have an explosive sex life. Because I'm telling you now, I've never met a couple. We've never met a couple who's been married long-term or happy that has a sexless marriage.
Or just not compatible.
Or just not compatible sexually.
One wants it,
Yeah, we've never met a couple who was thriving in their marriage who wasn't sexually compatible. I'm not saying it can't be done, but from our own experience of 25 years and talking to other couples and meeting with other couples and coaching other couples, you have to be sexually compatible for it to last long term, because it matters. Let's just face it. Sexual energy is real. You can feel it. Sexual energy is real. And so if you're not getting that at the very place you call home, man, that's tough.
From the person that loves you.
From the person that loves you. Just remember that.
Yes.
There's no such thing as a happy, sexless marriage that we know of, right? And so you should always be working towards having these types of conversations. Whether you're starting out dating, or whether you're already some years into your dating process and you haven't had this conversation, or you're already married and years into that and haven't had this conversation. This is a conversation that me and my wife kind of revisit. I guess we do it naturally. It's not like a schedule, but just every, I don't know, maybe every year. You can't even put a time frame on it. We just have these conversations periodically. When we feel like we're changing, then we have these conversations. Is our sex level still a 10? Is our freak level still a 10? I'm 45 now. And most men, when they get older, probably like late 30s or so, testosterone levels drop. Especially if you're not in an active lifestyle, especially if you're not eating clean or having a clean diet. It's just little things like that. Your sex drive is going to adjust as you get older.
You should give the men some tip for that.
The tip is, listen, man, y'all know I'm plant-based. So little tips to get that thing to do what you want it to do, right? If you struggling with that thing, because listen, ED is only a blood flow issue. So just understand that, man, that
and
ED,
nothing to be embarrassed about.
Nothing to be embarrassed about, but ED is only a blood flow issue. If you're not getting erections like you want, or staying hard like you want, then that means that there's something going on with your blood flows. Blood flow to unlock that, unblock that, to get things flowing like they need to. exercise is the number one thing. Exercise and diet is going to be the number one thing, right? Squats really do a good job because your leg muscles are the biggest muscles of your body. So when you do squats, they release natural testosterone. So if you got low testosterone right now, just by working out, doing squats will even help boost that all by itself before the diet and all that. Stress levels. What are your stress levels like, man? You got to make sure you keep your stress levels under wrap, because when your stress levels get too high, which is cortisol, you got a hormone in your body called cortisol. When that cortisol hormone gets too high, your stress levels your nervous system is activated, and nothing is going to flow right when you're stressed out. Even with me, as clean as I eat, as much as I work out, when I can feel myself getting a little stressed out beyond what I'm used to, I don't feel like doing nothing. And that includes sexual activity. I don't feel like doing nothing. If you're constantly stressed out like that, that's going to affect the blood flow as well. So some things you can do: exercise, diet, also watermelon. Watermelon is like the natural Viagra. I tell people this all the time. Watermelon and walnuts. Drink watermelon juice, or just eat watermelon every day, or a handful of walnuts. I promise you'll thank me later, and she'll like it too. I promise you. So listen, if you are struggling out there with men with ED, this is just a few things that I can give you that I know that work, that I've given these out to other men and they email back or text back. It's working. Diet and exercise is going to be the biggest thing in stress levels. Diet, exercise, and stress level. Try to eat as clean as you can, right? If you want your sexual energy to go up, even for women, if you want your sexual energy to go up, your sexual vibes to go up, you want to feel sexy and sexual, and you want that testosterone to start flowing, you gotta exercise and eat clean, keep your stress at bay, and then watermelon. Watermelon works for men and women. Walnuts work for men and women. That just increases your libido, gets that blood flow going. And so that'll help you out. So men, give that a try. And then I want you to hit me up. And she'll like it too. I'm telling you, hit us up. If you try that, hit me up. Let me know what you think about that, because I promise you.
If you have any questions, leave us a comment.
Leave comments.
Right.
We want to hear from you.
Yes.
We don't just want to come on here and make these videos and then you guys don't give us no feedback, no comment. We want to hear from you. If you got a question, hit us up and we'll answer it for you and tag you in it. Yes. We want to help you build a lasting, happy relationship and talk about these things and be functional and be healthy and thrive through your marriage or relationship the way that you guys want to, right? Because you're looking at 25 years. 25 years happy, and I'm looking to build another 25 years. Listen, before we get out of here, remember, click the link to order this product. This will be in the description below, the link. You can order it. Help us out, support us. Wet. A slippery night of fun. Bet that. That's the tagline, baby. And listen, to build that sexual compatibility and to stay sexually active on the level that you want, just remember compatibility, connection, and then you got to understand the benefits of sex for you. The form, because it comes out, it benefits people in different ways. It could, like I said, it could be a form of love, it could be a form of connection, it could be a form of affection, but you got to figure that out for you guys, and you got to have those conversations. Anything else, babe? Anything else? Anything else before we get up out of here? That is it. And listen, if you haven't already done it, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification. You can get cool episodes like this when they drop, and all of our latest products when they drop. Until next time, the Married Life episode 3, baby. Until next time, I'm your boy FL. This is Chandra, aka my boo thing. Listen, and we always spreading that peace and love twice on Sunday. Go out, attract the life of your dreams, good people. Keep that sex energy alive. What they supposed to do, babe?
Dare to be you.
Dare to be you, good people. Let's get it.